Hi everyone, hello, it's Marie Fleming here from Awake with Passion, and happy Sunday to you. Today I just thought I would jump on Facebook and talk to you because I am feeling really tired and kind of wiped out, to be honest. So usually when I do a Facebook Live, I feel good, right? I get myself into a state where I feel good and I feel energetic and all of that good stuff. But today, I don't feel, it's not that I don't feel happy, I feel pretty peaceful actually, but I am really tired. And it got me thinking about this whole idea of self-care, why it's so important, listening to our bodies, there is such thing as a mind-body connection, and why it's so important. So I'm going to just chat to you about this as I'm sitting here. Usually I would have a cup of coffee when I feel like this, in a way to kind of boost myself up and get through the day, but I'm choosing not to. And instead I'm having lemon water because it's one of those ways that I look at my self-care, because I don't want to, there's no judgment here, I love coffee, but I don't want to boost myself up with caffeine all day today because I know that I'm tired, and I'm going to completely respect the fact that I'm knackered. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about. So I'm very passionate about this topic, and even as I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm aware that suddenly some energies come in. I'm feeling a lot less tired than I did even when I hit the go live button. And I'm aware of the fact that my mind can really impact my body. So because I'm excited about this topic, because I really care, I know that my mind can really affect my body. So what I'm going to do when I get off this Facebook Live is drop back down into my body and allow myself to go back into the feeling tired and the need to self-care and to rest and to look after myself. Because otherwise the tendency is to go off and plow through my to-do lists. I'm a big fan of lists, that's the kind of person I am, and I don't want to do that. So it's just about honoring my own needs. So that's where we are. So one of the things I wanted to share with you is basically to ask you, are you practicing, I call it an art actually, practicing the art of self-care, and are you neglecting yourself? Because if you are, it's got to stop. And this is where I'll get quite, I don't like preaching, right? I always just share my stuff, and but this topic, it's so important. I feel passionate about it. And I want you to ask yourself, do you prioritize yourself, and do you engage in self-care? Just have a think about it, because I used to be somebody that never did, and it really cost me. It really did. And one of the things that I struggled with is this whole thing, this inner critic idea, and these thoughts that used to come into my head all the time, over and over, which were basically, if I don't do anything today, I'm lazy, or I'm not good enough, or it's a waste of my time, or I'm not being productive, or whatever. So if you're watching this right now, there's a chance that you're following my page, and my page, Awake with Passion, and my business is basically very much designed for people who are wanting to go out there and create things. So coaches, healers, entrepreneurs, creative people, anyone defiantly adventurous in life, all of those people who, if you're working on anything in your life, this piece today that I'm talking about is so vital. But even if you're not, even if you suddenly stumble across this live stream, this is still important, an important piece for, I think, anybody, any human being. Because if you neglect your needs and your body and what you really need in a day, you're neglecting your health. And let me tell you, we don't need to go to university over and over to understand that our health is, the most important thing, one of the most important things in life. We need to value our health, because it's only when we lose it do we realise that it's so flipping important. Now, just a quick kind of background, if you don't know me, I used to work as a child protection lawyer, and I used to work and get myself so stressed out, and kind of lost in all my to-dos and things I needed to do every single day. And I was very good at my job, but what happened in the end was that because I completely neglected my needs, completely, I didn't have breaks. I didn't go to the toilet when I wanted to. I didn't eat well. I didn't even think about what I needed. It was all about my work, and it was all about other people. And in the end, I got so seriously ill. It was, really debilitating, with ME, chronic fatigue syndrome. So for me personally, I lost my health and everything that went with it. And now I've come through it, I'm on the other side of that. But what I know from that is that our energy is the most important resource that we have as human beings. It's so important, and very often we don't appreciate it until we lose it. So have you ever had that feeling of, you don't really notice your body, but maybe you get flu one day and you're out for 5 days, and you realize you can't do anything, and then there's a horrible frustration of, oh, I hate feeling unwell, I can't do this, and this, and it's a really horrible feeling. So the reason I'm so passionate about this particular topic today is that you've got to look after your health, no matter what you're doing or how busy you think that you are. And we all have busyness, we all have lives and lots of things going on. But prioritizing you and your needs, your body, your health, your whatever it is, to look after you it's got to be the priority. And I'm talking to you if you have kids. I don't care. I have a child. I was a single parent for most of her upbringing. She's 18 very soon, this month in fact. And I know I know what it feels like to juggle everything and be swamped and overwhelmed with things, because I've had a lot of experience in that. But you have to prioritize yourself. It's so important, hence me talking about it today. So, that's what can happen when you lack self-care. Your health goes down the drain. And if you are a creative person, and I am, if you're a creative person, if you prioritize your own care, then watch what happens with your creativity. It's incredible. You have space finally for amazing creative ideas to come in. If you don't look after yourself, you don't have time alone, you don't have moments to breathe, watch what happens to your creativity and your output in the world. But actually, in fact, by slowing down and, looking after yourself, the creative thoughts can come in. You can have sudden insights, sudden flashes of intuition, amazing ideas for yourself and your life and your business and your personal life. And it's incredible. So this is why it's so important. So just check it out. Ask yourself, how much time are you prioritizing? If you're watching now, say hello. I'd love to see who's on and connect with you. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to comment in there, because I'll watch, I'll get the comments back later. And I'm always interested to connect with whoever watches these live streams, because you never know. But feel free to comment below and let me know what you think about this, because it's such an important area for all of us. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, or sort of share with you today, is to look at this relationship between your mind and your body. Now, if you're somebody who does a lot of mindset work, and you might even be very kind of comfortable in the personal development world, chances are you're going to be very aware of the mindset stuff, the importance of how you think affects what you do, the beliefs that are going on up there, all this mind stuff. Brilliant stuff. But how often do you look at your body and give, unless like you're a health coach or something, but how often do you give any priority to your body, to how you feel, to actually what is going on with this thing that, holds you? It's so important, this beautiful body that you have, that we need to appreciate much more than we do. So one of the other things apart from this, I'm coaching with Awake with Passion, is I joined, I work as well with the Optimum Health Clinic as a psychology practitioner there, and we work with ME patients, so people that used to, that have the illness that I used to have. And one of the things that came up in the program that we did last week was this relationship between mind and the body. And an amazing question came up, which I'd like to share with you now, and just to get you thinking. So if you imagine that your mind and your body had feelings and opinions, if you asked your mind what your mind thought of your body, and you asked it to rate your body out of 10, so 0 being it's crap, it doesn't do anything I want, or 10 being it's amazing, I have a really good relationship with it, what would your mind say? You just take a minute and think of the first number that comes into your head. And usually it's the first thing that comes in. So just take a second and just see what number comes in. And then the other thing is reverse it and ask your body, if your body could think about what it felt about your mind, what number would come to your body's attention? How does it feel about your mind? Does it feel like the mind runs the show all the time? Does your body feel like the mind never listens to it? Does the body feel neglected by the mind? Take a minute and just ask yourself the question. It sounds really strange. If it sounds and feels strange to you, it's probably because your mind and body aren't as connected as maybe you like them to be. So just check out sort of how that feels. One of the things I learned when I recovered from being ill, which really, really struck me, and I don't know where I heard it, whether I read it somewhere or somebody told me in one of my sessions, I can't remember, when I was recovering, but it was this idea that if you and your body were in a relationship together, would it be a good, healthy relationship, or would it be an abusive relationship? And I got asked the question, and I thought to myself, right, my body, what do I do with my body? Okay, I kind of push it. I push it all the time. Even when it's tired, I push it. This was me before. What else do I think about my body? Well, my body, it just does what I tell it to. I don't really think about what it wants. I don't listen to its needs. It gives me symptoms and signs that it's in pain. Maybe I have a headache, or I'm thirsty, or I need something, and I don't listen. I completely ignore its needs and pretend it's not there. So when I realized this, I actually, it hit me, oh my God, if I was treating a person in a relationship the way I treated my own body, I would be an abusive partner. I wouldn't have been any good in that relationship. I would have just been an abuser. And when that hit me and I realized that this is what I was doing to my own self, God did the penny drop. We so often neglect it, especially when we're into personal development and our mindsets and our minds, and we're very practiced at pushing ourselves and hustling. I don't even like that word, hustling. Push, push, push. If you have a goal, you've got to push and never let anything get in your way, and be determined, and battle all the hills and everything, which is all great. It's all very good, and I have that strength. I have like that warrior mindset. Like, I've overcome a hell of a lot of crap in my life, really bad stuff. But if we only adopt that way and only push ourselves, right, we're just ignoring our body. It's shit, and you might get away with it for a while. Maybe you're in your 20s, right? Maybe you're in your 30s. Now I'm a few years away from turning 40, so I'm aware of my body in a different way to the way I would have been, say, when I was 18. But if you keep pushing and hustling and being determined to do every single thing you said you're going to do, and overcoming everything, and kind of, moving mountains to achieve your goals, I'm all for that. Believe me, I'm so ambitious myself. But if you're doing that and neglecting your body and your self-care and your own needs, that is absolute bullshit. It is. And if you're doing this, I'm saying this with love, like, it's absolute bullshit. You're doing it and you're cutting off your creativity. You're cutting off the beautiful, juicy things inside you. You're making it hard for yourself. And ultimately, if it's not costing you now, it will cost you eventually. So this is why I say it's absolute bullshit. You've got to, if you're not doing it already, really prioritize yourself, because, God, it's like the most important thing. So I think I've said, I've covered that piece. But, so let's look at sort of ideas for self-care. It's little things. It doesn't have to be, it's not all about taking off 3 months of your life and going off traveling and stuff. Great if you can do it, fantastic. Maybe you're building a lifestyle to enable you to do that. I'm talking about day-to-day things. What can you do to honor your own needs? What can you do to make yourself feel good today? Particularly you helper types, and I identify with that pattern. If you're a helper, you're going to be somebody that is always there for others. You are a carer of everybody else and their dog. You prioritize everybody else's needs. You have that empathy. You're probably even an empath. You soak up people's energy and feelings very, very deeply. All the more reason why you must prioritize your self-care. At the same time, if you're an achiever type and all you focus on is achieving and going for your goals and creating that life that you're destined to have. Again, I identify with that. But, what about your own needs? What about being in the here and the now? What about getting your mind off your to-do lists, getting your mind off all of the goals, all of the things you have to do this week or this day or this month? What about, coming back into the now and sitting in your chair, feet on the ground, taking a breath, and really feeling what it feels like to be in your body. I do this with a cup of tea or a cup of hot water and lemon or whatever it is. I do it. It's almost like a meditation. I used to sit and guzzle coffee and email with one hand. Now I make a hot drink in a way of, I'm going to have a break. I'm going to sit. I'm going to sip. I'm going to breathe, and I'm just going to see where I'm at. I'm just going to feel my body. And when I slow myself down like that, that's where my ideas come in. That's where my next thing comes in. That's where, the exciting stuff comes in. It just needs a bit of space to be able to do that. So ideas for self-care, it can be mind-based things. It could be meditation. It could be, anything that kind of creates that lovely space in your mind, that's right for you. It could be body-based. It could be more laying on the sofa and chilling out. It could be yoga or exercise, whatever it is for you. Ideally, you want to incorporate both. Think of things you can do for your mind and your body to practice that self-care. So it could be silly little things. It doesn't have to be anything huge. Like today, I'm going to take off my chipped nail varnish and paint my nails, because it makes me feel good. I'm going to dig out one of my books. I love fiction. I love getting lost in a book, I'm going to, curl up with a blanket. It's Sunday. It's a lovely day outside, but I'm going to take a walk, but I'm going to come back home and I'm going to snuggle up in a blanket, make a nice drink and read a book for a while, I'm going to see what I want to eat today to nourish my body. I'm going to see if I want to binge watch, Suits. I love Suits on Netflix, right? I love that show. I might binge watch some episodes of that because it's not what we're doing, it's how we're doing it, by the way. So a quick note about TV. I see a lot of things on Facebook where people, especially spiritual people and people who are into personal development, they say TV is bullshit, Hi, Deborah. Hello. Nice to see you. Nice to see you here. Just talking about self-care. You can watch the replay. Covered quite a bit, but it's just looking at what we can do to prioritize our own needs, right? And not get sucked up in the outside world and make ourselves ill. So what was I going to say about TV? A lot of this talk is about almost a bit of guilt about, well, I'm so spiritual, I'd rather read 10 books than watch TV. In fact, I don't even own a TV. All of this stuff, right? Which is fine if that's you, but don't be judging those people that like to do it differently. It's okay to watch TV. Look, I don't even like the word spiritual, but I consider that I have that part of me. I'm very into transformations and personal development, but I love reading as well. I love feeding my mind, but I love endlessly watching episodes of my favourite show on Netflix because I fancy it and I like getting lost in that. Am I using it to distract myself from my miserable life? No. I used to do that. That was me like 5 years ago. I don't do it because of that. I do it because it entertains me and I love it and I get lost in it. But it's not what you're doing. It's the reason behind what you're doing and how you're doing it, So similarly, you could be a smoothie junkie and make smoothies every morning and go to the gym every day. I like some of that stuff. I wouldn't go crazy on it, but I like some of that stuff. But if you're at the gym and you're pushing yourself and all you're doing is, while you're on the treadmill or whatever it is, exercise bike, whatever, your brain is going 100 miles an hour and you're thinking about everything and anyone and you're not here, that's minimum benefit to your body. Yeah, physically you're working out, but the benefits aren't as high as they could be if you were calm and you were present. You could be washing up and be really mindful and calm and breathing nice and slow and just being here and appreciating your life while you wash the bloody dishes. And that's really beneficial. So don't get hung up in the what you're doing. It's not good enough. It's not spiritual enough. It's not whatever enough. just focus on what it is that makes you feel good and try and breathe into that and really allow yourself to go there. You know, it could be reading, it could be having a favorite drink, it could be just chilling out, it could be going and getting your pajamas on. That's one of my favorite things. I like just sometimes just getting my pajamas on at silly hour of the day if I'm at home, because I can. And it makes me giggle sometimes, and it makes me more productive in a funny way because I feel really comfortable, and then I'll get my notebook out and start jotting out things I want to do, or things I want to do in sessions with people, or whatever it is. Just entertain yourself with whatever it is for you. So that's it really. That's kind of wrapping up for today. So it's this idea of being connected with your mind and your body, prioritizing your self-care, prioritizing it, not just saying, oh, I'm so busy this week, I'll do it next week, or I'll make some time next month, or, you know, I've got too many things to do, I can't sit down for bloody 20 minutes, you know, and breathe and have a cup of tea and just read a magazine, or just some me time. That's bullshit. Prioritize yourself, because you are here for a reason. No matter what you're working on, no matter how busy you are, how many people you have to look after, whatever's going on for you, you have time. Don't let your health deteriorate. Don't, you know, appreciate that you have the energy that you have, whatever it is. Maybe you're unwell at the moment and watching this. You still have some energy. Love yourself enough just to honor what you need. You know, it's not a competition. It's not a race. We don't have to get to a certain place and beat other people and, you know, race ahead. You're in your life, you know, and it's precious. And I learnt this the hard way. When I lost my health, I lost everything, or what I thought was everything on the outside. You don't need to learn it the hard way. So my message to you today, with so much love, but not wanting the bullshit for you, is to prioritize yourself, love yourself enough to focus on your needs now, not later. And by doing that, you'll be a better friend, a better parent, a better loved one. You'll be better in your business or in your job, whatever it is you're doing right now. You'll have more insightful ideas. You'll be the better version of you, not from hustling and pushing, from doing the opposite, taking a breath, slowing the hell down, and being there for you. So that is my message for today. So I'm going to go off now. And like I said at the beginning, I'm aware that just by talking about this, because I'm passionate, my energy's gone up. So I could get off this Facebook and go off and do 20 things, but I'm not going to. I'm going to switch this off now, and I'm going to just sit, finish this drink, and just breathe and think about what I want to do for the rest of the day, or even for an hour or whatever, of self-care. What do I want to do? And I'm just going to allow myself the time, because I deserve that, and you do. You also deserve that, okay? So even if you've got little kids running around, prioritize something for yourself later, when they go to bed. Doesn't have to be now, but sometime today. Don't go to bed today without doing that for yourself, and watch how that ripples out in the, you know, in your life in other areas. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them below, and I will be back on here very shortly through the week, doing talking about whatever else I fancy talking about. You're welcome, Deborah. Thank you for watching. It's nice to have you here. So take care of yourself, and I will catch up with you very soon. Bye bye.